Hey Harmonizers, welcome to the Royal Winter Fair 2025. I'm going to share some tips and things to do and not do. And of course, we're going to start with some shopping. I love to look for the deals, and at Greenhawk, they have some super awesome deals on the blankets. So I definitely love to check that out and pick those up so we've got the staples that we need. And then I love this Northern Ontario section where we get to have all of these vendors that come in with their different products. We have a huge variety. I love this tallow cream. I bought it last year and I absolutely love it. Definitely got another jar. This lavender lemonade, just another vendor bringing in a product that they make. I love that it's got natural ingredients, things I actually understand. So I definitely pick up a fair bit of shopping along the way because you get to have those experiences that you wouldn't normally get to. And then here is the bunny and guinea pig petting area. They bring out different bunnies. They rotate between the different ones that are here so they don't get exhausted or anything like that. But super neat to get to see different kinds. We love the educational piece as well. Like this is the milk house where they were doing different demos on milking a cow. The whole process only took like 5 minutes to milk a cow, but pretty cool to learn some different things. I have my favorite food items, including the roasty potato that I love to get every year at the Royal. There's a huge variety in this section, but there's actually some other more niche markets and other areas as well. But this is us digging into our favorite of the roasty potato. We get it pretty much every year at the Royal. Let me know if you do too in the comments. And a huge tip I have is use their underground parking. Or maybe I shouldn't be sharing this tip because then you're going to steal the underground parking from me next year. Just kidding. I love to park here because without going outside, being in the cold or anything like that, you can do an unload of all of your shopping into your vehicle, which makes it super handy. And also at the end of the night, you don't have to go outside and figure out where your parking was or anything like that. You can just load up and head out. There's an entranceway from the evening horse show directly down into the underground parking, and you enter this area from the side. So we did our unpack of the haul from the day, which was mostly blankets because the blankets were on sale for about $60. And to even just clean and repair a blanket at the end of the year is like $35. So it's not a whole lot more to just get an entirely new one. I've got my little bins to put our shopping in. My kids each got to choose one toy from the Royal. So they were pretty happy about that they could have one little item to take home. And then we also got to go to our favorites of, I love this cheesecake on a stick, or they also do the strawberry cups. Although I made a mistake, I did not think that on the first day of the Royal that they would sell out of strawberry cups. But my little ones were sleeping, having a nap there. So I thought, okay, well, we'll come back later. Now that was a big mistake. So don't make that mistake. If you want the strawberry chocolate cup, you get that strawberry chocolate cup in the morning or you might miss out. Here is a little overview of the farm and play zone. Totally recommend that you check out this area. And if you're coming during the day, I recommend avoiding this area during the day when all the school groups are there because it is insanely busy. We came after the school groups were all kind of checking out. So around like 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish, then it's a lot quieter and we could actually enjoy the petting zoo. Totally recommend that you do things like this where they have line dancing classes in this play zone. My little one was absolutely loving it. And that's great that they have these different activities and experiences of things that you can do. So it's a mix of entertainment and education and trying new things. For me, I love trying the new foods that I get to try from the Northern Ontario section or those different products, but also these different activities, super fun. Highly recommend checking out the Animal Theater. This is their Superdogs performance, which I definitely go to every single year. They have different routines, different things that they do, dances, frisbee flying, all sorts of things. My little one totally into it as well. So it's like for all ages, you can enjoy it, but they have different performances throughout the day in this ring. They'll have some different horse demos. They had Extreme Cowboy doing demos as well, which is a discipline I absolutely love because it's basically an obstacle race that you have to do quickly, but you have to do the obstacles well. So you get scored on your obstacles, but also your speed is a factor. A lot of fun, and these performances are free, so you can go in. It's a great place to sit down. You just can't bring your food into the area, so you don't want to plan to pick up your lunch and come sit down because the dogs can't have that. And this is me getting my inner kid on, and I totally recommend you do the same because check out that smile on my face riding the mechanical bull. Of course, just, lazily slopped off to the side, but I didn't want to hold on for dear goodness because of my poor head injury in the past. I'm like, I will just take the easy flop when I can get one. My little one, on the other hand, I was pretty impressed. This is a mama brag moment right here because for a little 6-year-old, she's doing pretty awesome, hanging on to this bull, swinging around with it, holding on real tight. And the seat is very slippery as well. That black seat is just like it's meant to slide you right off. So I'm pretty proud that she was able to hold on for so long and get tossed around doing really, really well. I'm like, yay, your horseback riding skills are improving. Not that we ever expect a horse to actually do this with us. I'm like, but you're getting a sticky seat. And anybody who rides horses knows that a sticky seat is a good thing. Now, when it came to roping the calf, she had this neat little trick of just dropping the rope on the calf as it was coming out from under the horse. Another little fun activity that they have there. Whereas I actually took their, interesting rope. This is not a rope that's really holding much of a shape. So I tried to fiddle with it a little bit, but it's a very soft rope and not super great. But I was like, you know what? I'm a little kid as well. So let's have some fun here and try to toss this rope on this little cow. I did not catch the cow, so my little one was able to catch the cow, however, not using any type of proper technique. And me, well, I'm going to have to work on my roping skills, but we'll work on that. They also have a bouncy castle, so that was fun to be able to send the kids in to have a little bit of playtime doing that. They have the Spirit of the Horse section. There's a whole other area to do the vaulting on the barrels that you can do as well, but we didn't go and stop into that one. And then the chocolate strawberry cup, they had one cup left. So me being a typical mom was like, okay, kids, you can split that between a cup for you guys. And I didn't get any chocolate strawberries. So next time I will definitely do that earlier in the day. We headed over to the evening horse show. I highly recommend that you get tickets. I absolutely love it. We ended up being in a suite. And the evening performances change every night. So this was the indoor eventing. Started off with indoor eventing. I'll just show you one round so you can see some of the really cool jumps that they were doing. There's some solid fences like that, but then there's also jumps that have poles that can be knocked down. So that was another solid fence that they did, coming around to another solid fence that can't be knocked down, which is what you would see on an eventing course. The corner jump, which is super awesome. And then there's also traditional show jumping style jumps, like literally just jumped a pig. How cool is that? So there are some fences that can be knocked down and can give penalties, or they got penalties if they had refusals. And then it was also based on time. And this rider ended up becoming ranked number 1. They had a clean round coming around, also super speedy, did really, really well, making their inside corners, just making their turns nice and tight, because it is a tricky thing to do a course like this in an indoor ring. Totally different venue, through the maple leaf, which is a super cool jump, and then right into super narrow fence. So you need to have really spot on steering. And check out that inside corner they did. Super awesome. Lots of other people were going on the outside, whereas they were cutting on the inside, which does shave off a lot of time. Collect it up for the oxer to make sure their horse didn't knock it down. Super well-ridden course. And they ended up going into rake number 1, which you can see on the Jumbotron there up in the middle. Super cool. So this is what it looks like in a suite. You have like a little couch area, and then there's seating rows that go down. There's also a tiny little kitchen area where there's a sink and a little fridge, and you have some room to put down your snacks and stuff like that. And then you have your little rows of seating in your suite. So we had one for our farm. It's like my favorite way to do the royal, because then you get to have a little area for the kids to play or sleep, be in the stroller. Now this part of the show, hilarious. Like, be prepared to have a good belly laugh right here, because keep in mind, nobody got hurt. Everything was okay. But there's these little kids that come out for the Shetland pony racing. So usually they have some type of evening mini performance that's more of an entertainment piece. They have a Liberty performance on a different night. This night was Shetland pony racing. Look how hilarious this first jump is. I mean, you have to have a good laugh because everybody was okay. They come in for their little race and here they go. And the first kid falls off and that causes another horse to stop and another kid falls off. So you end up with two loose horses. And one of the horses is just continuing on the race. The little pony is having such a good time that check out that pony. The pony is like, I am on a mission. I'm going to win this race. And it's just chucking around, just running, going full throttle, going around. I think they were trying to tell them to stop there, but they just like kept going. And they're just going around because they were thinking about maybe catching that loose horse. But it really just added some comedic value here of how much fun this pony was having, just ripping around, staying part of the little pack going around, the little riders. And they did end up doing placing for these guys as well. And this is hilarious. Look at this. They turn left and then the pony's like, oh yeah, I'll come. I don't need a rider. I can follow the route. We're going this way. And then the pony just assumes, okay, now we're going to head to the right and starts to lead the way. But it was actually the race done. So they end up catching the pony and all is good. But it was so much fun to see kids having fun, ponies having fun. Nobody got hurt with the falling off. It was just really hilarious and super duper adorable. Afterwards, they go for a little victory lap with their ribbons, which was super fun to just see a young generation having a lot of fun, getting to ride in the big Coliseum ring. Like this is going to be making some serious memories for these kids. And hopefully getting them excited to stay a part of horses for hopefully the future to come. Because I love to see the horse industry keep thriving. I love events like this. I love bringing the horse community together and having these types of performance. Now they finished off with some show jumping. So I'll show you one round of the show jumping so you can see what the course was like for that evening. They had some carriage horses as well, which for me is not my cup of tea. I can appreciate the carriage horses. I can appreciate the skill. I can appreciate that we used to travel by horse and carriage, which is kind of crazy to think that that wasn't actually that long ago before cars were invented and we could take cars. But I prefer the jumping, whether it's the indoor eventing or the show jumping. So I booked to come on those nights for those types of things. And then the carriages, I did not include little video clips of that. But here is off to the first round, and you get to see what the performance is like viewing from up in the suite. And definitely if you have kids, I recommend having the suite, especially if you have a stroller, because it's just super handy that you can bring it right into your suite. Keeps the whole experience for me a lot more enjoyable, that I've got my kids safe and enclosed within a space, and I can sit down for the couple hours and enjoy the show. And my kids, when they get bored or it's too much, they can go off and go play. So it's not stressful, because if we were trying to stay in the little seats with my young kids, I'm sure they'll be able to do that when they're a little bit older. But for now, this is definitely my favorite way to roll. Coming in, they've got a nice double combination there, or two-stride combination. They've got some beautiful jumps set up, a really nicely laid out course. The horses look like they are in peak performance and they're all well groomed. It's a lovely show to come out to. And you get to really appreciate the talent of what it takes to get a horse to this level of fitness, to be able to come to a show like this, to jump at this height, the super widespread oxers. All in all, great venue. Totally recommend that you come. Drop a comment if you're going to be heading to the Royal this year.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.